What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, first of all, I want to thank one of my subscribers for notifying me about this. I was getting ready to go to bed. So, there have been some new developments in this unprecedented boycott by the NBA. All right. In the wake of the tragic shooting in Wisconsin. And what the new development is, and I'll put a link to this article in the description box below. There was a players meeting today on the NBA campus at the bubble. And the Lakers and the Clippers, represented by LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, all voted to cancel the season altogether. This has been reported by Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports and TNT. However, every other team in the bubble voted to continue playing. Representatives of the Players Union explained at the meeting that they felt that canceling the playoffs would likely lead to a lockout to start next season and a renegotiation of the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. All of this suggests that the season will continue, but Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN said that those conversations would continue into Thursday. Also Thursday, the NBA's Board of Governors, i.e. the owners, will have a virtual meeting. Expect more talks between the players and with the owners involved before anything is decided. Don't expect any playoff games on Thursday, at the very least, in to ensure that the teams playing on the other days, to give them the same chance to boycott and to make a point that the teams on Wednesday had. This much was expected in part because of the raw emotions of the players following the shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin. LeBron reportedly wanted to put pressure on owners to use their wealth and political influence to ensure changes in favor of social justice in NBA cities around the nation. He is far from the only player talking about this. These owners are able to twist arms and make deals to get arenas built, often with some taxpayer money involved. The players want to see that kind of influence wielded on social issues such as police reform. The meeting to discuss the future of the NBA playoff games in Orlando followed a boycott of games by the players on Wednesday, something led by the Milwaukee Bucks, the team from the state of the latest police shooting. In the meeting, other teams expressed frustration that the Bucks blindsided everyone with their moves. The Bucks decided to do this in the locker room pregame and decided it as a team without consulting the union or the other teams first, including the Magic, who were out warming up to play. The boycott was in reaction to the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man shot in the back at point-blank range in front of his 3 children by white police officers in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which shook players and coaches in the NBA bubble. These players were frustrated by their limited options to respond and make a statement from inside the NBA's campus, while protests erupted in Wisconsin and around the nation. Players wanted to take action, not just make a gesture or wear a t-shirt. And that's pretty much all I'm going to read from the article verbatim. I don't want to just completely read everything they're saying. Look, at the end of the day, you hear people on TV, say, well, what's next? What's the plan? And these players are trying to do something that will actually, in their minds, help to create change. And I'm very, very, look, I remember back in the 90s, and you remember one of the first guys to talk about these types of issues, right? And his name was Craig Hodges. He was on the Chicago Bulls championship teams in 91 and 92. He should have been on the team in 93, but he was boycotted, from the NBA, pretty much, not publicly, but, more or less, he was boycotted from the NBA the same way Major League Baseball, banned black players unofficially for generations until Jackie Robinson. And, you think about how guys like Craig Hodges, you think about what Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf could have done in the NBA, could have gone on to have at least a borderline Hall of Fame career, or maybe even a Hall of Fame career, had he been able to flourish and play in the NBA, especially as the NBA began to develop around perimeter-oriented players in the late 90s into the 2000s, but his career was derailed because he just was in a different era. Those guys were from an era that was not very favorable for them, and they were, on a religious level and on a social level, protesting things that, were just before their times, the more conservative 90s when, the debates that we were having, no one was listening to. No one wanted to hear. And now here we are some 25, 30 years later, and now these voices are being heard, and they have all been proven correct. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Craig Hodges. Shout out to all these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a shame that we're still dealing with these same problems. We're still dealing with these same problems. We even have it here on YouTube. And what I mean by that, I'm not cursing in this video, right? I'm being very respectful. I'm being professional. And I'm talking about a topic that I'm not trying to be sensational about it, but it's a problem that needs to be addressed in this country. Yet, a video like this could possibly be flagged because they'll say I'm promoting hate speech. Why? Because the moderators who listen to these videos have absolutely no knowledge of what I'm talking about. They don't know what it's like to be an African American in this country. And the majority of moderators are not African American. And they'll just be dismissive of what we're talking about and just say that, oh, well, these are just some people, making noise and, trying to complain about, just complain about stuff and da-da-da-da. And you know what I'm trying to say, man. So, but at the end of the day, man, I don't think that they should cancel the season. At least not right now. But if the players don't get what they want, then yes. If the owners are being, standoffish, if the owners don't want to meet the players halfway on this particular issue, then yeah, the players should walk. And then that's the only way. Like I said, man, when it comes to people who are in positions of authority or power, you have to penalize these people. And the only thing that works with rich people is hit them in their pocketbooks. And the only thing that's going to curtail a racist from doing something is to punish them for it. Okay? You have to punish these people. And too many times, people in positions of authority, or, these people who are in authority, they get preferential treatment. That police officer who, let me ask you this. George Floyd's picture is everywhere, right? George Floyd's pictures everywhere. You have people who have unsuccessfully tried to twist George Floyd's image into a predator. Oh, he struck a pregnant woman. in his life. Oh, he appeared in adult films. He may have used drugs. Even if all these things are true, that warrants his death. Why don't you spend as much time and energy looking into the past of that officer, Derek Chauvin? Well, I haven't forgot his damn name. We don't see his picture plastered everywhere now, do we? No, because he's being protected by his fellow brethren, the boys in blue. Right? Where is George Zimmerman? Why isn't he being hounded by the media? I mean, think about it. Didn't the media hound O.J. Simpson after that not guilty verdict? Why don't I know? I understand George Zimmerman. It wasn't a celebrity before, but at the end of the day, why don't the media hound him? Why don't the media, talk about how he got away with murder? No, he gets to live his life rather comfortably. They couldn't stand O.J. getting off. They had to set his ass up to put him in jail for the quote-unquote robbery. We all know reality what they put him in jail for. They couldn't stand to see one of us get off. But we're supposed to stand for constant injustice every time, every day, slap in the face. We're supposed to accept the verdict of the criminal injustice system. We're tired of it. Okay? We're tired of it. Not to mention the fact that part of the problem is the idiot that's sitting in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who's fanned the flames of racism. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of this has started because of what George Zimmerman did, and George Zimmerman getting off on killing Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? That gave every racist person in this country who may have been afraid to go that extra mile, may have been afraid to voice their racist beliefs, now saw that they're not getting penalized anymore. Now, a guy like Donald Trump comes out, says what everybody's thinking, even influences people to say racist things and to do racist things and to commit violent racist acts. Remember, this is the same guy, Donald Trump, who in a speech a couple of years ago called himself a proud nationalist. What did we see a couple of days later? We saw that senseless shooting at their synagogue. Then we saw an idiot in Florida send bombs to every prominent Democratic figure in this country, nearly all of them. So don't tell me that he's not dangerous. He might be an imbecile, but just him being in the bully pulpit, espousing all that trash, makes him dangerous. So yes, we do need to make a lot of changes in this country. Okay. Now I don't think that Biden is the answer for that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't blame people who want to get rid of that guy in Pennsylvania Avenue. All right, in November. So, you know what I'm saying? We're in unprecedented times. And when you're in times like this, people are going to do some things they don't normally do. And the black community, black men, we're tired of this. We're irritated and we're tired of being spit in our face. Okay? We had the Democratic National Committee go on for 4 days. Now, I went at the Republicans just now, right? We all know the crap that they're doing at their convention right now, spewing all that hatred. You know what I'm saying? Fanning the flame. That's what they do. But the Democrats, they went and did their kumbaya, we are the world, for 4 days, right? Did they offer African Americans, especially African American men, did they offer us any solutions to our problems during those conventions? No. All they did was flaunt, just flaunt around tokenism. Oh, we're going to nominate a woman of color. A same woman who help to commit atrocities to people that look just like her and me. She's not a friend to our community. So, at the end of the day, if we are to go out there and vote, the only way we can really fundamentally change things is not with the person in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or the person at the second spot, but we have to do a grassroots thing. We got to really go out there and vote. I know a lot of people feel like voting doesn't matter and that, it won't change anything. I'm of the belief, yes, it can. But you have to come out and actually vote. If 100% of African Americans voted on election day, do you know how many of these scumbag politicians would be voted out of office? Do you know that the Mitch McConnells and all these, far-right racist Republicans and all these corporate, corporate sellout Democrats would all be voted out of office? And you would actually have people who, at least temporarily, are unbeholden to corporate interests and would actually do something. And if we actually went out there and voted and put in place people who thought like us, citizen politicians, do you know the change that would go on in this country? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cynic. I'm a realist. I'm not an optimist anymore. I've seen too much bad shit in my life to be a dreamer. But I do believe that if we actually did go out there and vote, and the numbers we're capable of doing, if we were going out there and not just vote, but actually participate in our system, actually demand change, actually systematically put one of us in positions of authority in certain key positions, we actually could create that change that we're looking for. So that's all I got to say, man. I'm going to bed. Tell me what you guys think.